All right. So we've done some PvP, BVR stuff. Mistakes were made. Good things were happening on both sides. Bad things were happening on both sides. So we all kind of got a general understanding of what can go wrong, will go wrong. So that's all fine and dandy. So now we're going to deep dive into the weeds of how to use it to your advantage and comms later on. And yeah, so it's going to do some more BVR timeline concept. Pretty sure some of us are familiar with it, but it's always good to get into the weeds and understand it a little bit better. So overview, air-to-air basic brevity terms, group labeling, group targeting, air-to-air tactical execution ranges, BVR timeline terms, launch and leave, launch and decide, bonsai skates, and all those things we're going to go over. So here are some basic brevity terms that we know most of them. It's not really any of them that are new. But you got something that's always confused sometimes with spike and naked. So naked is that, or not spike and naked, but spike and nails. But naked is also a good one. So sometimes people use clean. Everyone knows what they mean. But clean is technically used for the FCR. So if you're looking at something, you're like targeting the northern group, you would say that you're clean, FCR. So that's what clean means. Naked has to do with the RWR. So you'll say you're naked, 29 or something, or you were defending, or you were spike something, and you would say naked. That no radar targeting indications of an air threat. So this is usually the one of interest. So if there's like a 29 and a 27, and you were spiked at the 27, and that's the one of interest at the moment, you say naked. You can either specify naked 27 or just say naked. Sometimes people think that your RWR is completely empty. It is not completely empty. It's just not being threatened by the target of interest in that time being. In and then spike is targeting indication of air threat. So that loud noise you hear, the constant tone that you hear. And then nails is that it's when it's just searching and it's just out there on your RWR. So spike and nails, when you're using it in brevity, it's important to decipher which one is which, because spiked is a little bit more heightened when it comes to issues than nails. So make sure you know which one is which. In is, of course, turning hot on a threat. So before you turn, you would say like 3 in, 4 in, or first element in, first element in. Then out is turning cold. So it's kind of your grinder brevity on the turning points of those maneuvers. We got launch and leave, which is of course fox and then turn away. So you'll fox 3, you'll wait a little bit, you'll do your cranking, and then you turn away. And then you have launch and decide, which is the bonsai. We'll go over it later. You'll fox and you'll decide whether or not to turn in or not, and that's that. And then crank gimbal, place the target on your far left or right of the gimbal. So that's cranking. When you say cranking, you're cranking left or right, putting on the far end of your FCR. Any questions over any of these?
Hey, I got a question about nails and what about sniff?
Sniff. So that's if. So mostly for GCI. So sometimes the GCI doesn't know what it is, and you could just
Okay.
give a like basically a call to say the GCI could say target southern group bullseye whatever, and they don't know what it is because they didn't say anything. So as a pilot, you could say targeted bullseye whatever sniff flanker. So now the GCI knows that what it is, and they can kind of do different things, and everybody else knows what it is because you said it over the radio, because of your RWR indication. You're just kind of helping
Okay.
GCI and helping everyone else because it's unknown at that moment, and then you could make it known by saying what it is.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. So some group labeling. So I know it's been touched on a couple times. We try to do it in the pilot, and if you've ever flown with the GCI, you're very familiar with people saying it. So usually the groups are labeled by a GCI, but not always. That's not always available. So pilots can label the groups to ease targeting, organization, and Fox calls. So we have link 16 now, making it easier to self-label by yourself. So you can see what's going on, you can see everyone in this area, and you kind of self-label the groups there. When referring to the groups, better practice is to refer to the label, not the bullseye. So on this example right here, you got three groups. So the GCI would say three group champagne. This is what a champagne looks like. So it's an open V toward the friendlies. So that's what a champagne formation looks like. So immediately when the GCI says champagne, you can kind of get at least a 3-point picture of where everything is. So three group, as you can see up here, Mike, three group champagne, 20 wide, which means that it's 20 wide. And being that it's a champagne, you know the two are up front. So it's 20 wide and 15 deep. So the trail group is 15 deep. So you can already get a very good picture just off of those, 6 words or something, 7 words. So that's really good to know what this means when your GCI is trying to give you some information. So this is when the labeling starts. So north group, north lead group, bullseye, whatever. That's the north lead group, being that up is north. So this will be the north lead group. 30,000 hostile, 2 contacts. So it's like, cool, that's the north lead group. South lead group is bullseye, whatever, 30,000 hostile. You notice that he said bullseye on that. Sometimes people say bullseye, sometimes they don't, because everyone knows that it's 20 wide. So on here they said bullseye, but to make it a little bit shorter, you could just say south lead group 30,000 hostile. And it's just assumed or known that it's 20 wide. So that's just something to kind of shorten the GCI call there. But it's still the south lead group, so now everyone can refer to it as south lead group. And then on this last one, it has it in the example here. It has 30,000 hostile, 2 contacts. Trail group, 20,000 hostile. That's all that's needed because everyone knows that it's 15 miles deep, and that's the trail group. And it's a singleton. If it's a one, sometimes they say if it's one contact, they don't say anything. But sometimes people say singleton, so that kind of helps out with that. Any questions or comments on this left picture here? And if it makes sense, and are you kind of grasping it at the moment?
Grasping it, but need practice.
Yeah, definitely practice. And of course, this is the only thing. It's north group, south group, and trail group. So it's this cardinal directions. So if you ever forget, you can just use the cardinal direction. It's the northernmost group, it's the southernmost group, and it's the trail group. When it starts getting more groups, then it gets kind of confusing. But we have link 16 now, so at least within your flight, you know what's happening. And if you're in doubt, just use bullseye to make everything a little easier. But if you know which group it is, then just say what group it is. And you could say Fox 3 lead group southern contact or something. Fox 3 lead group left, and everyone would know what it is without saying all that bullseye stuff. Let's see. Then the Vic is the opposite of a champagne. It's the closed portion of the V. So you have the lead group now. It's only one lead group. You have a north trail group. They're behind, and then you have south trail group. So again, 3 group Vic, 15 deep. So 15 deep, 20 wide, telling you there. Lead group right there, 32,000 hostile flanker, two contacts. The North Trail group, information, then South Trail group, and information. There'll be examples later. But yeah, and this is a ladder. So 3-group ladder. So it's in trail, but when it comes to GCI, you'll call it a ladder. And it's 3-group ladder, 30 deep, which is everyone. So you take the distance of everybody in that ladder, and it's 30 deep. So right now, you have 3 equal groups in 30 miles. So they're about 10 mile separation. So that's just the first couple of words you can hear from that. If they're different, the GCI would say differently. So 3-group ladder, 30 deep closing. So I'm going to pick on someone. Rody, what do you think closing mean? When the GCI says 30 deep closing, what do you think that means?
They're heading straight towards you.
Not quite. Well, they are, yes, but what do you think closing means in that context?
In their contacts, that means they're heading towards you, high speed.
Yeah. Let's see. Faith, what do you think closing means in that context?
I was thinking the same thing. They're hot on you.
Okay, let's do one more. Good dope. What do you think closing means?
Does it mean the individual fighters in that group are getting closer to each other?
Correct.
Like the trail is closing?
Yep.
Just to guess.
So those three contacts are decreasing their distance between each other. That's what closing means.
Oh, okay.
And it could be used in any portion of groups. So you could say closing with this, so they're closing like this. So the trail group is getting closer, lead group is getting closer, and then let me say. So what do you think opening means? It's
The separating.
yeah, they're separating, so they're getting farther away. So it'd be three group ladder opening, so they're increasing their distance between each other, which kind of gives you a more mental picture of what's going on, really quick during your picture building. And then there's also closing could be where let's just say these groups were going this way, they're kind of closing in on each other. So I could say north lead group, south lead group closing, so they're basically azimuth getting closer together like that, so it could be used as that as well.
Directory to a certain point.
Yeah. I don't think I have it in here, but if you have these two groups and the southern group is going the opposite direction, the GCI could say, let's just get rid of this trail group, could say two group wall opening 30 wide, north group bullseye whatever, track east, south group bullseye whatever, track west. And you can immediately think that they're opening, so you know that they're going in the opposite direction somewhat. But once they tell you that they're literally going in the opposite direction, then you can really know what's going on. Cool. Throwing all this knowledge on you, but yeah, it's really good stuff, especially when GCI and then when they're building the picture, because that's really important to understand what's going on. Any other questions on this slide? Cool. So some group targeting, we know the basics, azimuth and range. So lead will take, or whoever's on the left will take the left, and whoever's on the right will take the right. Same thing with leader, trailer, and all that stuff. And then you could correlate them as leader and trailer. So you could say Fox 3 leader, or Fox 3 West group leader. You'll know exactly what it is, exactly where it is, and you don't have to say any numbers at all. So you would say call sign targeted West group, and then that's it. And then you would say call sign Fox 3 South group leader. So like I just said. And we'll go over this and more in comms, but it turns out, according to the documentation, only the owner of the group calls on the uniform 6. So I don't really go into detail here, but I'm going to go over it really quick so you know what owner and sharer are. So in this case, if the lead calls their own sort, so if the lead says Falcon 1-1 targeted or sorted, so you'll target the West group, and then within the flight, in the intra-flight, the lead would target his own target. So say lead targeted left. That means lead is the owner of this group here. So they, as the owner, will call Fox on uniform, and the sharer, which is the other person, will only call Fox calls on within the flight. So that's something I learned, and that's new to me. But if you're the owner, you call it over uniform 6 tactical, and if you're the sharer, you call it only within your flight.
And does the lead of that element relay that or no?
Just
on uniform.
No, they don't. So they only say it because everyone knows that your flight is targeted on this group. So there's no reason to box
Okay.
of the other person. So
extra brevity.
yeah, so it's just less
kind of minimize
on
comms.
on tactical. So
the other flights are gonna automatically assume that both those aircraft
Yes.
were targeted and
Targeted.
fired upon.
Yep. So you
Okay.
call the group, and it's like, cool, you got the group, and then that's it. And only the owner of that group will call Foxes on that, and you assume that the entire flight or the entire group is taken care of. Opposite of that, how the lead can give themselves the sharer, I guess, responsibility is if the lead gives you the sort. So if lead is here and it says 2 sorted right, that means he's giving you the owner. So now 2 is the owner of this group. And as the owner, your responsibilities are the BVR timeline to make sure no one gets swacked, and it is to call your Fox calls over the radio, over tactical. So if the lead tells you to go sort right, that he's giving you the ownership of that group. Same thing with leader and all that stuff. So one sorted trailer. So this
Question.
means that one is owner or sharer. Anybody?
Question?
What was that?
Owner.
Owner?
Question.
Yes. Go ahead with the question, Rudy.
Where you have azimuth, if number 1 tells number 2 sort right, okay, and 3 and 4 with on the other side, if it's a 4 ship,
It would.
it would be a little confusing because if number 1 tells me to sort right, yeah, I know it's supposed to be the next, because number 1 could take both, but he
could, yeah.
Sometimes it's confusing because if number 1 tells me to sort right, it could tell me to sort the other group on the left, on the right side.
Not sure if I'm following. So he's telling you to target both?
No, if number 1 tells me to sort right, he's gonna I would say he would be asking me to take where it says leader and trailer. Yep.
So in this case, the flight lead would say probably sort leader, because you're the first one, and giving you the sort to sort that person, and he would go after the trailer.
Right.
And
Now,
it would,
does it matter whether or not which side the leader and trailer of the enemy aircraft are?
no, it doesn't. So in this case, the lead could say to sort left.
Yeah, in the right side,
Okay.
the right one.
No, it doesn't matter which side. So it could be switched. So the leader could be on the right side, trailer on the left. It would be easier to get to, like, whoever's the owner of the group, give them the closest person. Because why would you give them the trailing one as the owner, since they're probably going to have to shoot first?
Yeah, the owner
yeah.
has has the leader, and then you got the trailer.
Right,
Oh,
but
yeah.
in that case, the two friendlies are the same distance.
Yeah, they're relatively the same distance, but we all know that line abreast, you're not always the same distance, but you need to know your own distance and be able to get the most important thing is to get out before that MAR
Exactly.
and shoot before you really have to. Yeah, so one sorted leader, single group. So sorted leader, so given one has the ownership of this group. And then on this side, this is the intranet. So this is within the flight. So within your flight, one will give you the group or give you the sort. And then see how it here, net is the tactical. So 2, sorted, single group, bullseye, blah, blah, blah. So you would say your full call sign sort over the uniform 6, notifying everyone that your flight is basically on the single group. And then 2 would say sorted leader, single group. And then 2 would also say Fox 3, single group, and all that stuff. And then if once one foxes, you would say it over your within your flight. Or just not say it at all because everyone knows you're targeted and you're gonna fire real soon. But the owner has to assume that they've foxed. If you don't fox, tell the person, I didn't fox or off dry or something. Like, you got to tell them something, so they know tactics wise what to do on the other side. Because they're always going to assume that you fired. So group targeting. So you're in the south and you're a 2 ship. 1 is on the left and 2 is on the right. Who kind of give me an example of? Well, I didn't really go over it, but we'll go over it later. But it's like a little before test. Would you target this second group here? Yeah, the middle group. So you got the lead group and the the middle group, would a 2-ship target this middle group here?
No.
Anybody
Nope.
else? Anybody else say yes? So this is about 50 miles. So we'll say 50 miles is about halfway, debatably. So 30 something miles. So should you target it on the same,
I would say yes.
same, I guess, engagement?
I would
I would
say
say-
no.
I would say no.
Okay, why?
Be-
Because by the time you fire on that second group, you're probably going to be the first group to be well within your mark.
Yeah, that's possible. That's at 100% possible because they're about 30 miles or so away from each other. So you'll
Yep.
be 40 miles away from them once you shoot at them, ish, depending if you're against Starlight or not. But so so it'll be about 40 miles between there, or 30 miles between there. So yeah, it always depends, but this is just some type of exercise that we will do. So me personally, I might shoot at least one missile at them so they could turn cold. At least someone could turn cold, at least. So I would target these two and have another missile go at one of these, just so they could do something while we're turning cold and trying to get our bearings back. But
Yeah, because the two in the front are going to turn off.
hopefully, yeah,
And-
we hope.
and-
We hope.
And
Well,
the, and the,
It
and the two in
depends
the
on how
rear-
much other support you have.
Yeah, it
So
all
if
depends.
It's just you two.
Yep.
You
Yeah,
have to do
because-
as much as you can.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
literally
because-
all depends. But yeah, I
Yeah,
did.
If number one shoots at both in the front,
Yeah,
okay, they're going to turn around and you still have a shot to target and lock onto the second set.
so you have like two sort leader or two sort lead group. So you sort both of them. So it's like you have both of them, and then which actually isn't really correct because there's 20,000 here, but we'll go over that later. And then have the other person shoot at least one toward the other group so they could react to it. So yeah, very good exercise.
Yeah, I got something because there's a targeting depth.
Yeah,
problem
we'll go
over
over
there
that.
With
Yeah,
and maybe depth problem is solved with depth solution. If you ask your wingman to go trail, and you target the lead group, and when you shoot, you turn cold, they turn cold, and kind of a grinder.
yeah.
So when it depends.
It really depends, but it's always good to just see this because it's always going to depend in any matter, in any situation, but you're going to have to make a decision when it's actually happening. So you can't be like, well, it depends. I should do this. I should do. You got to make a decision. So you got to do something to do this. You can't just wait however long, but you have to make a decision. So, but yeah. So either the only bad decision is no decision. So if you make no decision, something bad is going to happen. So
Exactly.
just make a decision. No one's life is a danger. Just make a decision.
Yeah. If no decision, just turn cold.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and in reality, that's a decision. So if no decision is just going straight. That's no decision. But yeah, so targeting depth, factoring range, all that stuff comes into play on this, and we'll be diving into that now. So picture range is not really talked about, but it's the range that the GCI will give you a group. So sometimes people use 60, sometimes they use 70, and this depends on what the number is. So yeah, it just depends on what the number is. So whatever that number is, and if you call a picture, it's like AllSpark request picture, your GCI will say picture clean if there's no one within that picture range. So if there's no one within 60, 70 miles, they'll say picture clean. 71 miles, depending on if they're hot or not and the threat, they're probably not going to tell you about it, just not to, one, worry you, and two, make it all confusing. So there's a certain range where the GCI will just ignore to an extent outside of that range. There's a couple things that that deal with that. If there is a group coming your way that's 80 miles away, and you call a picture, and it's going, that group is going really fast, the GCI might tell it to you because it's going to be an issue very soon. So they'll just tell you about that group. They might say outside picture range, or they might give you some information, but they'll give you that group and they'll just notify you because it'll be an issue very soon. If they're cold, then they're probably not going to tell you about it because they're cold and it's not really an issue. So that's the picture range. Targeting depth, which is the maximum depth from the leading edge of the group that must be targeted, like we saw in that last exercise. So if those two groups were 10 miles away, yes, it is the targeting depth. You need to at least target them because they're so close, and if you turn cold, they're still going to be there if you don't target them, because it matters if you target them or not. And this is this kind of visual representation right here. So these two are within targeting depth, but they're outside factor range. And moving into factoring range, so minimum distance that that doesn't affect merge tactics. So with merge tactics, so if you're going to merge with someone, with this first group, if they're close enough to be able to engage in that merge, then you need to factor them. They are a factor in that merge engagement. So you need to shoot them or head out and find some friendlies because you're outnumbered, number one. And two, they'll become a factor really soon because they're close. And then we got shot depth, which is in tandem with the targeting depth. So if they're within shot depth, that means you shoot at them as well because they'll be an issue sooner than targeting depth. So maximum range behind the closest trailing group that will be shot in accordance with shot doctrine. So if they were, again, like 5 miles away or 5 miles in depth, you need to shoot at both because they're basically one group in that sense. But let's go make a better example. So you got a targeting depth of 25 miles. So at 25 miles, you need to target them. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to shoot them, but you will target them, especially on the next engagement. Like once you pump, go away cold, come back in hot, that'll probably be your next target group on that back end there. If it's within the shot depth, you'll shoot at both groups because they're so close. Any questions or any clarity needed for this slide? But yeah, as you can see, the stuff is coming together from that last exercise there. So it just depends on how far they are. Know how far they are, so you know whether or not to target or shoot them. So this is with the tactical criteria. So one Viper can target 2 contacts per group. So they have the ability to target 2 contacts per group. However, if it's less than 10,000 feet. So on this example right here, this is more than 10,000 feet. So you would not give one Viper this group. You would have one person shoot the left and one person shoot the right because they're more than 10,000 feet in separation, I guess horizontal or laterally, vertically. They have more vertical separation between there. So your radar might not be able to support both of them during that. So you give it to 2 people. So if less than 10,000 feet, they could target 2. If less than 20 nautical miles, and these are numbers I kind of just logically placed in there. If less than 20 nautical miles in azimuth, so if they're with less than 20 miles laterally, like in a wall, then depending on the distance, you could shoot them. You can target both of them as well. If there's 2, so if you have 2 people in a very wide 20-mile line abreast, you could shoot at both. For the depth, if less than 10 nautical miles in depth. So if you have someone who's 20 miles in depth, you can't give that one person those 2 targets. You need to separate those 2 from 2 Vipers. So you need 2 Viper radars for those 2 groups. This kind of makes some sense when you kind of making your plan as a lead to who should take what in a group. You have some limitations there. Less than 10,000 feet, less than 20 miles in azimuth, and if less than 10 miles in depth, you can give that to one person if there's 2 groups. If there's 3 of them, obviously you need more than 2 people. So that's one Viper. With the Eagle, I haven't really come up with the numbers yet, but you can probably double these numbers easily. So yeah, Eagle is this beast.
May I ask a question as well?
Yes, go ahead.
In the exercise you gave earlier, if the first group will be split in the number 1 and number 2, the second group will also be split, or the number 2 can take both?
The second group, they could probably take both, but they're separated a lot. So the entire group, what's it called? The targeting depth and the shot depth is kind of on the line there. But if they are within those two, then yes, they could take the number 2. One F-16 can take both. Yes.
Okay.
Along with the backup, if they're within 10 miles of each other, and this is it's get rid of one, so you only have 2 here. They could take the first one, the leading one, and the trailing one as one F-16.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, so if this was within the shot depth, you could say you'll need 3 FCRs, you'll need 3 Vipers, 2 to take this one, and 2 to take these 2, and then 1 to take this one, but usually we're all in 3s, or in 4s, but every now and then we do fly 3s, but you technically would need 3 if they were close enough. So BVR Timeline Terms. So this is where it gets really, really detailed and yeah, nitty gritty. Minimum targeting range. So this is the range that sorting and the group intercept flow. So this is basically when you need to start going through your head of what you're going to do. Are you going to do a skate? Are you going to do a short skate? Are you going to do a wall? Are you going to do a pump when it comes to the grinder? So if you see this in your mental picture, you need to start going through that at this range. So you need to give yourself some range to be able to know what you're going to do with this picture here. So that range, it varies of your experience levels. It varies on how fast and how high the other target is. Also what type of the other target is. So a good thing would be, as long as you could see them on either Link 16 or on your FCR, you should probably start targeting and divvying it out, sorting, at least in your head. You don't have to verbally say it, but you need to start thinking about it as soon as you see them or aware of them on your FCR through Leak 16 or other means. We can all kind of speculate what that would be like if you're too late. So if you're too late, then it'll be a little bit less organized, and you'll be getting behind the airplane. Some of us aviation people know what getting behind the airplane is, when you're not ahead of the airplane and you get behind it and everything starts piling up on you, and you just a snowball effect, and you can't really recover from it unless you have a break in stress during that time. So minimum target range, let's say that's like 60 miles. At 60 miles, you need to start sorting out in your head at least, and communicating what we're going to do. So transition range, you got right here, so it's a little bit closer. So this is the skate shot, so the launch and leave. So you'll skate around this, you'll call skate, and then you'll support the missile until you go like active, and then you'll be out by DOR, which is desired outrange. All of these have actual numbers, but in BMS and in any engagement, they'll always change because of speeds of both parties, altitudes of both parties, and the missile of both parties. So it's hard to get an actual number for all of these things, but there's an actual number for each one that I don't have have them right now, but you just kind of have to gain experience and see how far that actually is. So DOR, so you'll be out by Husky. So Husky is the first stage of the missile targeting system. It's not quite Pitbull. It is the first stage where it starts opening up its eyes a little bit and looking for very high aspect targets. So you'll skate around transition range, and then you'll be out by the DOR. So you'll be super safe because you're not at the MAR here. Bonsai, so you'll shoot around the decision range, and this is a launch and decide, and then you'll be out by the MAR. So you'll shoot. You're able to crank / notch and then you'll be outside the WES of the bandit there. After you do that, Bonsai is a decide, so you'll either go on this side, you'll either do a beam defense, or you'll kind of go outwards a little bit, but you'll wait about 15, 20, maybe 30 seconds, depending on what your enemy is. And then if you're naked, you will turn back in. And if there's two of you, as it says here, naked fighter turns in, so they're not being targeted, so they'll turn in, obviously. And then if the spiked fighter, then you're being targeted, you're not going to turn around, so they'll go cold. That'll immediately make the grinder effect in that sense, and they can go back in and start going that, and just kind of keep doing that. Minimum shot range is the range to shoot and be out by Mar with the active missile. So that's even closer than Bonsai. So you'll shoot and you'll be out by the Mar. That's what that minimum shot range is. And Mar is the distance that you need to be to outperform the missiles of the enemy. Of course, Mar, it changes between depends on how high they are, how fast they are, because it gives them better performance of the missile. So the Mar goes plus or minus back and forth all the time, and you need to be aware of that as you're locking onto someone. So if you see someone at 45,000 feet going 800 knots, then your Mar is probably pretty high, and you need to get out really quickly because there's probably a missile coming at you already. And then you got minimum recommit range, which is the range that the fighter can recommit and fire while outside of stern WES. So if you're going away cold, the stern WES is even if your target is going cold, you could still hit them with your missile. That's the turn and run, like really close turn and run, where even if you're turning cold, the missile will still hit you no matter what you do. So that's the stern WES. You don't want to be in the stern WES because even if you're cold, you'll get hit. That's why we have all these different levels of timelines here. Any questions on? No, there's a lot of questions, but anything that you're just not understanding? And I know it's a lot. It takes weeks to unlearn this, but at least I can give you a
Simplified
presentation of what it looks like. You can always refer to these slideshows and look at it more, but I want to bring it to your attention because you don't know what you don't know. Launch and leave. So of course, launch and leave is the safest tactic. You'll usually not die when you launch and leave. So you'll launch and you'll leave before Mar, or right when your missile goes pitbull, because there's no reason to support the missile after it goes pitbull. So you might as well turn around. So there's the skate. This is a very simplified explanation of the skates. The skates actually have numbers, but in BMS we can somewhat use the dynamic launch zone. So you can use skate as our op shot, so you'll be shooting far away. That's kind of like a skate. And you got short skate. It'll be about like between, depending on this number, I usually like to be at least above 60. The digital maneuvering queue, so they need to change their attitude or their heading by 60 degrees to degrade the missile. So the higher this number is, the more likely you'll hit. That's kind of like a skate. And then bonsai is that you're basically going to wait. You're getting ready for merging. So you'll Fox 3 and you'll decide whether or not to go in based on if you're spiked or not. And if you're not spiked, you'll go right in and go into a merge. So bonsai is very, very aggressive, and it's basically when you want to get in there real close and make sure the adversary is taken care of. So here's two tactics can be used by launch and decide. So you got the notch back. So launch and decide, notch back. One goes this way, other one goes that way to increase the distance between you and the azimuth between you, so that the bandit has to lock onto one person. If there's an equal amount of people there, then I mean they could go after both of you and you'll still stay cold. You just hopefully have someone else behind you helping you out. And then you got the stagger back, where you're not quite beaming, you're not notching, you're kind of staggering back. Whoever's naked goes in, whoever's spiked comes back out. Same. It could be used as long as you wait 25 or 15 seconds and you turn back in. There's the bonsai. More cold ops. So one more. With all that information, let's go ahead and do one more exercise. I'm going to pick on Faith today. So if you had a 4-ship in this picture, kind of explain who would you target and if you would target the trail group. And you're in a wall.
Okay, we're on a wall. I would have the second element target the 2 at 15,000. My element would target the 2 at 30,000. That's still 20 miles. That's still hard. Never mind. Cancel that. That would be too far. I would have. I would take. I would split off right and left. So from left to right, I would have. I have number 2 take the far left. I would sort on the at 30,000. I would sort on the next one over at 15,000. Then I'd hand off the 2 to the right at to the second element. Given that they're 25 miles back, probably I wouldn't have them attack at all.
Okay.
Taking for granted we had somebody to delouse us.
Fair. And like they're a little bit more than the 10,000 feet, but if you can get it, you're not gonna say, oh, I'm not gonna get this guy because he's more than 10,000 feet. Like that's, I mean, if you're gonna shoot him, you're gonna shoot him. So yeah, just take the left, take the right, get those at least turned around. Technically, you could just have, if you really want to, you can have one person do this, one person do that, like you said, and then have the elements offset in a certain direction or whatever. Like we all said, it all depends, and you just need a decision. Now that's a good exercise for that. But yeah,
Yeah, what was
basically what I would do.
the azimuth max distance?
It's about, I think, was it 20? I think it's 20. Yeah, so
that might
azimuth,
be close enough for the first element to take.
this is per F-16. So per F-16, they could cover 20 nautical miles of azimuth.
Right. So per F-16, we could have like one myself take the 230,000s leading, 2 take the 215,000s. I think they're within about 20 miles, maybe a little bit more or less.
Yeah.
And then the second element to target the trail group.
Yeah. Would you in this? Would you continue the wall? Or would you do a grinder tactic? So have the second element like do a pump, so turn around and do a spin coming behind
that's
you.
right.
Or what would you? Which one would you do?
Probably have them notch right, and then see if we can get them to turn around, and then have the second element turn back in. As long as we push the first the lead ships away.
Yeah. Yep. Because they're debatably they're a little far for you to take both groups for 2 F-16s. So you split up 2 F-16 for the lead group, and then the other 2 F-16s for the trail group there. That's a good tactic. Might get you out of that. While trying to do all this MAR stuff, so it's gonna be crazy. But at least you have a plan in for this picture here.
Is kind of not necessarily notching, but sending the other element kind of right rather than completely cold viable.
Yeah, viable. Yes. So yeah. So that's all of my. I think 45 minutes is a good time. So that's my entire brief today. Hopefully you learned something. Feel free to go back in there and look at it. But any other questions you want to go over before I quickly explain the rules of the red flag?
I have one.
Yeah, go ahead.
The distance that you say that you shouldn't engage in as the same group, you should split, and the 20 nautical miles in azimuth. Since your radar sees an angle, if you are close enough, even 15 miles should be far away enough, even for your radar don't see both. Or if you're far away enough, maybe you can see both, even if they are 25 nautical miles apart.
Yeah, you could see both, but if you shoot at both, which way would you crank? You can't really crank at all.
Smallest case.
Debatably, with 20 miles, you could barely crank then, but you need to get missiles outbound, so you need to do something. So if they're 20 miles on opposite side, then you can crank one way, but if they were closer together, you can crank and use the full gimbal of your radar to be able to crank and decrease the speed between the two of you.
Okay, the problem is not firing, is maneuvering.
What was that?
The problem is not firing and then it's maneuvering away from them.
Yeah, it's
You're
it's
too far apart, you cannot
a
pick
little,
a side to go.
yeah.
Yeah, we still have to support the.
Yeah, for a little while, because you could support as long like your radar could, I don't know, it's like 60,000 feet or whatever, so you can support both of them, but if it comes down to it, it's better to have these numbers here just so you could maneuver afterwards, and first you won't only have one Viper out there, so if you have two contacts, you, depending if there's anything behind them, you could have both of your Vipers take off both of the lead groups if it's a two contacts. But this comes into play when you have a lead group and a trail group, and without having to turn around, you could target both at the same time with just two Vipers. So target 4 contacts with 2 Vipers as long as they're relatively within these numbers. You're able to do that.
Okay, see, thank you.
Yeah. But it all depends, and you all have to take it off while it's happening. But it's just good to know and be aware of rules that could affect things dynamically. It's just good to know that. Red flag PvP. So if you're new, I think most of us are good. But the plan in there will have a box like this. You'll see the yellow line. Try to keep within the yellow line. We have tankers on the blue and red. Red is Spain, blue is NATO. We'll probably do, we might not tank depending on time, so if we can get as many engagements as we can, and then we'll decide if we need to get out from there, but we want to do a good debrief afterwards. So that's what we want to do. We want to get more time debriefing and less time flying, actually. So we'll get 1 or 2 engagements in, and we probably won't tank. Training rules, you got a short beep when you shoot the missile. So it's like beep, that's the shooting. And then when you get hit, it's a longer beep. It's about 3 or 4 seconds. So it's like beep, and that means you're dead. With you being dead, you turn off, or you say over to UHF that you're dead. So you don't have to switch over to guard. Just say that you're dead, so your side knows that you're dead. And then you'll say that you're dead. You turn off your jammer, start to turn cold, depending on which side you're on. Descend below 10,000 feet. So everyone knows that you're dead already. Fly to the designated region, or kind of like meeting point, rendezvous point. So if you're red, you'll meet on the north. Blue, you'll meet in the south. And we will respawn only when the knock it off and then the fights on is called. So that'll be the only time everyone will respawn once you do that. And it will reset after knock it off and then the second fights on is called.
Which target in trail group?
Hey, I'm gonna monitor trail group, but
Fox 3,
targeting trail group. See what first flight does.
Who's monitoring trail group?
3 same.
Mustang 2 monitoring trail group. Flight go gate.
2.
Fox 3 trail group.
1 sorted left, 3 sort right.
3.
Falcon 2 defending.
group wreck, trail group hot.
3 started right. 47 miles.
You got a shot on the left. I'm clean him.
2 solid left.
2 continue. 3 continue.
3. Miss on the air.
Box 3, trail group. West guy.
One's cranking, or one's beaming left.
2 is cranking west.
Three Fox 3 long, bullseye. 06443, Angels 38. Cranking right.
2 pump. 1's back in.
2. Two clean.
3 clean.
Copy. Recommit wall.
2 back in.
3 Pipple, recommitting.
2 ship cold.
Falcon 2 turning hot.
All contact wreck.
One sorted left. 3 sort right.
3. Lockdown bullseye. 069er 21, Angels 29.
2 skate.
Home gate.
Trail guy turning back on.
1's out left. 2 continue on trail.
2. Box 3 trail guy. Cranking west.
3 Fox 3 long, bullseye. 07518, Angels 16. Missile loose. Cranking left. Right.
Falcon 2-1 targeting 05613, 37,000.
2 Pitbull out.
Light flow south 180.
3.
Got him and run.
I'm missing the center button for the F-15 and the 16 right now for the map.
What do you mean?
You know when you was it castle right for center map on the sit page? Yeah, I'm missing that right now.
On the 16, it should be the first OSB.
Yeah, it's the first OSB, but it's not on the HOTAS, so that's kind of weird.
Oh well.
Yeah, it's okay. Let's see. Flight recommit in right wall.
Two timer, splash 1.
3 copy.
Viper 2, targeting 03310, 27, 32. Fox 3.
All players, knock it off, we'll reset.
Viper 2-1, knock it off.
Couldn't get a clean on that first one, and the second one I got too close to the lead, so I turned off. I was at 26 for Mar.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, that's good. Flight hook left, south 180.
2.
3.
I think we did pretty well.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I still need to work on the pre-plan, the skate and all that. I'm still working on that. That's something that's very new to me.
Timeline and stuff?
Well, not the timeline, but putting together the skate and the plans and all that stuff. That's still, I'm learning that still.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of hard when they shoot at 50 miles or something.
Yeah, it is. Basically, the minimum targeting range is when you need to start sorting. It's like, well, I like shooting. That's kind of weird.
Yeah. Don't think we lost anyone, so that's good.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, I didn't get hit.
That's good. Viper can bike back.
Yep, bites back. Flight safe fuel lead is 10,000.
2 is 10-5.
3 is 900.
2, you said 10-5?
10-5.
Copy. Falcon 2 safe fuel, our lowest is 9.5.
Low is 8.5.
Copy.
Should be enough for one more.
Red, when able, on Discord, let me know your lowest fuel state. Our lowest is 8.5.
Lowest Viper is 10,000.
Stick, it might be 2 engagements. Sweet, so let's reset and let me know when you're ready.
Not bothering asking the Eagles.
Red size ready.
Copy, ready, stand by. Yeah, Eagles, they have plenty of fuel. The Vipers, yeah, just need the Vipers.
Yeah, there.
Package, we'll have Viper, correction, Mustang will lead, and then Falcon 2, you'll be behind us. So we'll just set up whatever you want to do formation-wise, but Mustang will be leading edge.
Viper 2-1, copy.
Check heading 180.
3.
Keep going south. Keep going.
Two say mark. One say mark.
Mar 25 still.
No, mark. Like, what?
Oh, Mach 8.5 still.
Copy.
Falcon, continue south. Mustang will hook to the left to go back hot.
Falcon 2-1.
All players, fights on. Flight hook left, 360.
Yes.
3.
Red copy, fights on.
Red copy. Fights on.
Affirm. Three, you might have did that hook a little bit fast.
Mustang Falcon.
Copy that.
Falcon. Friction Mustang.
We use like full burner and all that this time, or is that for the last engagement?
You can use full burner and stuff. Yeah, you can use that.
Copy.
Three, offset right 060, 5 mile line abreast.
3.
Mustang 2, targeted single group bullseye 02530, 41,000. Strength 2.
3 copy.
They're hauling ass.
Yeah, they're going fast.
Trying to sort the trailer.
One sorted lead, 3 sort trail. Light go gate.
Spike. Two spike. Notching.
Paper and press. On. Maybe get a lock. Jesus.
Got a lock on the trailer. Going gate.
One side a shot on police.
Got a shot. 40 miles.
3 go and press.
Break.
3 pressing.
Come on.
Coming in.
Box 3 leader, bullseye 0587, left. Cranking left.
Class 3 trailer, bullseye, 08118, Angels 49.
3 come out.
3 cranking right.
2 strike in hot.
Affirm 2 press.
Missile inbound.
Could get a lock to like 40 miles.
What mode are you using?
I used all 3 of them.
3
2 3 pushing.
3 flow 180.
Viper targeting leading edge. Fred F-15.
Shaft flare.
1's defending.
If able, target trail group at 16 to like 05139.
1 saved, continuing.
Got visual on you, 1.
Affirm, I'm gonna come behind Falcon here.
3.
Viper switching to trail group. We're targeting trail group now.
No one's going below 10,000 feet, so we missed everything.
06429 29,000.
3 hook left, 360.
3 copy. Hooking left.
Data.
3, if you could go on the other side of Falcon there.
Right or left?
Data.
Right, get on the other side of Falcon.
Copy that.
Fox 3 lead group, Fred F-16. Viper 2-1 out left.
Data.
You sneaking on them? Can you get them? Can you get that lead group?
They're still running.
Oh, the trail group and lead group. Lead group's in front. They're azimuth to you like 30 miles.
Pitbull.
I got a lock on leader.
Copy. Standby 3, 2 come out.
Falcon 2, out cold, out.
2 coming out.
Lead group drag. Mustang 2 targeted trail group bullseye 05230 26,000.
Down.
Copy shot.
And then Boston. I'm saying 2 possibly trail group. Most trail group 39,000 come back on.
Affirm, same.
They're going cold.
Lead group.
Angels 23.
Too many people there. I'm trying to see who's hot and who's not.
Yeah, but
3, if you can, yeah, target the hot one in that group right there.
Copy that, got him.
Vandal 2-2 is dead.
Wrong gate.
11's alive. 3 press on lead group. 1 is sorting trail group 39,000.
Copy, I'll bait him.
He's going call.
Mustang 2-1 targeted trail group bullseye 002 25 40,000.
Shaft.
Target
Flare.
1 below deck.
Spikes 27 continuing. Fox 3 West group 006 19. Crank right, cranking east.
Press.
Say again 2?
You want me to press?
Negative, you're right by the SA-11 Wes.
Copy.
Go and come out.
3, I got that, 3-1, I got that target. Same target.
3, go ahead and Fox and come out. I already got a Fox at him as well.
Copy that.
Target drag, 1's out.
3 Fox for the long times, 2.
2, go ahead and flow back 150.
Good.
One's defending south.
3's out. Claim.
Falcon 2 turning hot.
One's naked.
3 neck.
2's clean.
Copy, continue south, 180.
2.
Falcon
That
2 targeting 052
That took forever.
30 28,000. Correction 4518 29,000.
Data.
I think we're getting data from red side.
Thank God for that.
Data.
Got a spike 29 on my 6.
Continue cold, we got our other flight on it.
3.
Fox 3 lead group.
Flight recommit left, wall.
3. Pulling about 3 Gs.
2, target leading edge 138 55.
Say again, bullseye?
Leading group 138 128 70 125 45.
Copy.
Three one, got target bullseye 05429er Angels 20 30.
Copy, 3 press, target that contact.
3 Keep pressing. Gate.
Try a short skate on this one.
Copy that.
Spiking, mate. Bait up. Spiking, me. Keep pressing. I'll bait up.
One's pressing. Sniff 15.
Yeah.
One's cranking left. Target beam.
Contact Colt.
One called.
Two's back in. Targeting crowded.
Affirm. Target trail hot 21,000.
Am I? Defensive.
Affirm. One's back in. Three. Target bullseye 049 27 22,000 hot.
3 copy.
Two's down.
3 skate, come out, then come out left.
3 copy.
Target maneuver.
3 Foxtrot long bullseye. 025 24 Angels 26. Coming out left. Yep. Missile in the air.
One's targeted bullseye 042 26 37,000 beaming.
3 Spitball, on defense.
Mustang 2 targeted lead group bullseye 045 29 39,000. Fox 3 lead group cranking left.
3 Sling, climbing back up.
Flare.
Husky lead group 43,000 out left.
3 coming back around.
Pitbull.
Three locked onto your bogey on your 6.
Affirm switch, let's see, I think, or it might be all cold. Is he hot?
Still coming in hot.
Affirm press.
Falcon 2 targeting lead 033 14 27,000.
And 3, you gotta deconflict with the other flight because they're right behind you, just targeting on it.
Copy that, I see it. 6 is target on it.
Yeah, so either you call them off or you keep going.
Copy. 6 explosive.
On uniform, you take the target on uniform. We need to communicate between the flights when you're targeting on the same thing.
Copy that. I forgot the 6 call sign.
No, you're good. Just you can go ahead and go cold if you want. If you're too close.
Copy that, going cold.
Yeah, the Fox 3 call on that. So yeah, go cold.
Yeah, Fox 3 is on me.
Falcon 2 1 defending.
One's coming back in west, turning back in. players, knock it off, knock it off.
Falcon 2, knock it off.
Defending still.
Red, knock it off.
Yeah, continue to defend, and we'll see about the fuel situation.
Yeah, I'm at 4,000.
Okay. Copy 4,000.
Falcon 2, 1 defending.
Oh, plane.
Still time, you want to hit the tanker.
Yeah, we'll probably hit it. Just hit it and then hit up some time. We got two good engagements. We'll hit the tanker and then we'll probably get out by then. All players, go ahead, hit the tanker. Once you tank, we'll just hop out and debrief.
Falcon 2, 1.
That went pretty well then.
Yeah, that was very well.
Went good. No one got hit.
I got here, but he was cocky on my side.
Okay. Goodness. No, it went pretty good.
That was neat. Flight when able, rejoin. Echelon left.
Mustang, which tanker would you like?
Mustang will go to Texaco, and Falcon 2 you can go to Canteen.
Copy. Falcon 2, Canteen.
See, not bad at all.
Data.
Texaco.
Visual 1.
79225. Cool. Alright, our tanker is our
Data.
uniform 13, so make it easy. So we'll just head this way, Echelon left, half mile, make it comfortable.
3. 3.
Light fence out, lead is 5-7.
2 fence up 40.
3's fenced out 3,000.
1 echelon left.
A firm, Echelon left.
Copy that.
Speed Mach 8, 0.83.
2's rejoining.
Visual.
3's rejoined.
Visual.
So you know what's funny? If you've dropped your jammer now, you still have jamming.
Oh yeah, I think I remember. Oh, you dropped it and you think you have jamming still? Oh, it's still available on the panel.
It's still available on the panel, but I just dropped the jammer after a while.
Interesting.
My OCD couldn't handle it.
We're going after the further tanker, so Texaco 5, it's the one that's 22,000 cold. Negative, it's the KC-10, it's the closer one.
Yeah, that's coming in hot.
Oh, yeah, sorry about the speed. I'll speed it up. Try to keep 0.8.
Good there, boss.
So do you, clean boy? Yeah, creating those slides, I learned a lot creating the slides. Learned about the owner share thing, and that was kind of enlightening to know not everyone calls over uniform.
We did well. I don't think we have any double tap, so that won't matter.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I think the best thing is to not have different flights over the same group. I guess that's the biggest concern.
Yeah. Not sure how I feel about the SAM though.
The SAMs?
No, I mean, not sure how I feel about SAM. Kind of lose the fight, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's kind of impossible to have a touchdown if you have the 3 SAM just covering your way there.
Oh yeah.
Falcon 2 switching to tanker frig.
Yup.
I'm up 113. You copy me on 13. You copy me on 13.
You're still on tactical. Flight go and push 13 for Texaco.
Are the flag going for the same tanker?
No, they're going to the other one. Their 5 is still the other one.
Copy that.
I think Viper Hawk got confused of which one. The default is 13. You have to change it to the other one if you want to do the other one.
Yeah.
Alright, here we go. Some maneuvering. Going to intercept. Maneuver as necessary.
Mustang 2-1, Texaco 5-1, you are number 1 to refuel. Mustang 2-1, Texaco 5-1, clear to pre-contact position.
Clear to pre-contact. Mustang.
Mustang 2-1, Texaco 5-1, heads up, tanker is entering turn.
3 lining up on the left.
A firm, continue. And I get over there eventually without hitting each other. That's what I want to see, cold noses. I love it.
Mustang 2-1, Mexico 5-1, clear to contact position.
Clear to contact, Mustang 2-1.
Forward. 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 Mustang 2-1, stabilized. Mustang 2-1, stabilized. Contact. 1,000. 2,000. 3,000. 4,000. 5,000. 6,000.
Mustang 2-1 off, 10,000 total.
Mustang 2-2, Mexico 5-1, clear to pre-contact position. Roger.
Contact.
Mustang 2-2, Mexico 5-1, clear to contact position. Forward. 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 Mustang 2-2, stabilized. Contact.
2,000.
Ooh, I got a woman.
3,000.
She likes you.
Yeah, she does.
4,000. 6,000.
Disconnect.
Okay. Mustang 2-2 is done.
Roger.
I just forgot about you 3, what the heck?
Mustang 2-3, Texaco 5-1, you are number 1 to refuel. Mustang 2-3, Texaco 5-1, clear to pre-contact position. Mustang 2-3, Texaco 5-1, clear to contact position. Forward.
I might have called it before you were 9 miles within, maybe.
Probably.
Forward.
That number should be changed.
Forward. Forward. Mustang,
I was
2-3,
reading.
stabilize.
And the correct observation point or area is like a little bit forward of here. It's about it's more forward than you think. It's about right here. It's really crazy forward.
Contact.
Christ, this thing feels so much easier than the Eagle.
Yeah, the Eagle's just slippery and it's awful.
Mm-hmm.
4,000.
It's like it puts you where you leave it. It wants to stay there more than the Eagle does.
Mm-hmm.
7,000.
Yeah, I need to fight this thing more. I'm getting sick. I'm getting tired of the Eagle.
8,000.
Not that I hate it, but yeah.
Just some different styles of things to
9,000.
be interacted with.
Mm-hmm. Like a little weasel. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, we're gonna get into ground stuff whenever, but yeah, ground is definitely
11,000.
on the way.
Disconnect.
Yay!
Right. Roger.
Underneath. Sweet.
Perfecto.
Perfecto. Plenty of time. We get debrief and everything, but you see what the other team's doing, then we might do some BFM real quick.
Yeah, we can do that.
That'll work.
Mustang 2 on guard. Falcon 2 status of tanking. Mustang 2 is done. Standing by.
Falcon 1 done refueling, 2 in process.
Copy all.
Vandal 2-1 is it's fuel and Vandal 2 is about to refuel.
Okay, firm.
Look at that. Clean up. We can be fast.
Yep, good to go. So let's do...
1-2 is still refueling and 1-1 is waiting.
Sweet, we have time for BFM. Cool.
Yeah.
Let me get situated here. I'm going to take off my bags, and then we'll get started.
Go for it.
Everyone get rid of your bags, and we'll do some BFM. It'll be 1 and 2 first, then... Yeah, we'll just figure it out. Let's go. This one. This one. Oh, this one. This one. This one.
Want to set up a 5 miles rest or something?
Yeah, we'll do a head-on high aspect.
Sweating.
And 3 just kind of goes somewhere.
To refuel complete.
Copy that.
Yeah, we'll just 2 hours real quick.
On guard.
On guard, Mustang's gonna do a couple of, or however long it takes for people to fuel, but we're just gonna do some BFM real quick. So if you're ready to go, just go ahead and leave. We're gonna do a couple of BFM runs in the meantime.
Falcon 2 on copy.
Guns only? Or
Yeah, we'll do guns only. It's try to see if we can climb up. Try to go to 25,000.
copy that? So I guess who survived fight number 3?
Yeah, let's go with that. Go ahead and everyone flow west 270.
This?
And then 3, if you could peel off and be observation.
Copy that.
to the death, guns work, but they won't kill you, so we could use the guns. If you hear, like, you know, some whatever chatter and explosions or whatever, then you're dead. And we go all the way down to the floor, and yeah, that's it.
Let's go.
Cool. So 5 miles, gonna go up to 25,000. 25,000 is about there. Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Copy. Visual, I think. Yeah, visual. Lights on.
Two fights on.
Let's do merge first, then fights on.
Gotcha.
Fights on, fights on.
Fights on.
Altitude.
3-1, he's on your six.
Altitude.
Oh yeah.
Did you shoot? Did you hit me?
Yeah, I hit some hit.
Okay, I didn't hear anything, but yeah, knock it off, knock it off.
Let me knock it off.
I lost you in the terrain, like, really quick.
Right,
Yeah, 3, go ahead and set up your thing, and then fights on.
Copy that.
Yeah, that first turn, I had you all the way, and then when you went, like, basically, nose hot, like, visually, I lost you.
that means the camera was not working.
Because all the lines and stuff in the ground.
Alright, you two have fun. I'll go to observation.
Okay, copy. Visual 3, heading 030. Or visual 3, heading 030. Alright, yeah, continue that way. I'm gonna go off this way, get the 5-mile separation. Let's keep climbing 25,000. And Red, just let us know when you're done refueling over there.
Nightmare flight. Complete air refueling.
Alright, that's 20,000. Let's keep it 20,000. Go ahead and turn in hot.
Done with air refueling.
Copy. Is Vandal done as well? Three, go ahead and turn hot. Vandal, you done with refueling as well? Fights on, fights on.
Vandal is done. We punch out.
Okay, copy. Knock it off. We'll just hop out now. Stay firm.
3 copy.
Everyone's good. Go ahead and hop out, and we'll debrief. Tanking was better. I like the simplified, quick. Uh-oh.
Yeah, it doesn't take your skill away,
Yeah.
but it's just simply faster so that we can save time and stuff.
Yep.
Oh, goodness. According to the briefing, no one hit anyone.
Yeah, it doesn't register. I think
Should
my
in KTO, but yeah, I don't know about this campaign.
BMS is stuck on the splash thing. It still work where you... Oh no, it's there. Oh, okay. Acme, remember it wouldn't compile if you didn't wait for it to do whatever. See if I have it in here.
Someone needs to tell Viper Hawk the game's over. He's still flying around like he's in a dogfight.
Oh.
And there's nobody there.
Oh, goodness.
And my BMS is freeze, but I still have my TACU. Neato. All right. Welcome back. That was fun. Had some fun there. Lots of tactics going on. Let's do Vate since you're up front on this first engagement here. So whenever you're ready.
Okay. Yeah, the plan here was line abreast. We targeted the lead group. Called out on targeted on uniform, and then sorted on Victor.
You do both? You did a trail in?
Oh, sorry. I didn't. That was one of mine. I targeted lead group and then I switched, but I didn't communicate that properly. So
Okay.
I need to do better than that. So I originally had it with one, each of us on one right and left and right. Then I switched at the last second.
Oh, you switched azimuth?
We switched, so I had the lead group and 2 had the trail group.
Okay.
So communications could have been better.
Let me see, what was
or actually exist.
So yeah, with the distance 9 miles, that's a fair switch because they're 9 miles away. So, I mean, they're a factor when it comes to turning away, and they're still behind you. Plus, they're F-15, so that's
Yes,
a good call.
And we didn't know there were 16s up front, which made us assume they were 15s behind, given that's the only other flight.
Yeah.
So that was there. We started to defend normally, and then about halfway through, we remembered it was like, hey, don't use burner, don't use all your.
Yeah. And you didn't. And it doesn't even shot. They shot one here. Youngish is oof. So
Maybe,
close.
Did you? And then try to deconflict from you guys by going in between, but didn't do a great job there. We should have gone. I should have gone out farther so you could go down the middle.
Yeah. Either way, but so Vaith, give me your thoughts on Viper Hawk's decision on this right here. Did you tell them to go back or
negative? We
Okay.
talked about it, that we need to stick together a little bit more so we can support. When your flight's hot, we should be cold,
Yes.
and vice versa.
Yep. Making sure it's covered because that and we've all seen it in campaigns and PVT. That right there literally gets you shot down. Because the other flight's hot and there's just keep going cold. It's fine. We'll take care of it.
Yeah.
If we don't take care of it, at least you're cold. In that sense.
And then if we're the only two, we have nobody to delouse. We kind of maintain separation, and if one of us is naked, that one turns back with the other one defending or spiked continues cold.
Yeah. So if you're cold, and what brevity would you use for that? There's 2 of them that we went over today. The cold ops.
Sorry, my mind went blank.
No, you're good. The notch back and stagger back.
Right. My mind went blank even back then, and even though I had it written down, I didn't utilize that.
No, it's fine. I was just energizing those synapses.
Yep. Notch out would be notch right and left from 1 and 2 opposite directions. Stagger back would be the one that isn't spiked to go not. I think
It's like
notch.
a 45
yeah,
degrees.
It's a beam.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the one that is spiked to go cold.
Yep. That is what you would use if you were the only people out there. That would be so you could split apart and be able to turn back if you're naked.
And then hopefully the one notching hopefully can re-engage.
Yes. Yep. That was there. So I'm going to go over, since we're up next. So on my engagement, ours was a wall about 5 miles across. When it comes down to it, like 2 miles, 6 miles. I mean, accuracy is not really going to get you killed, but just make sure that we're in a line. And the most important thing is a sort. So we were sorting whoever's hot. We were trying to sort on that. We were sorted on the trail group. So I sorted. I think I sorted the left, the western, and I did my number 2 or my number 3 to sort the eastern, the right side. For the longest time, I was unable to lock on to this guy right here. So I had this guy, but my number 3 was already locked onto him, so I had him get it. But I just could not get a lock. I went up and down my elevation. I just couldn't get a lock. I went VSR mode and different modes, and I just couldn't get it. So therefore, I had my number 2 target on him because he had him. So that worked out well. I was just supporting, just kept flying that way. And then as everyone started shooting, I started to crank a little bit this way to 1, get away from Rhodey, just in case we need some separation there. And 2, to try to see if I can get back in the fight there. I did get a missile warning for a little, I didn't do anything. So now, it worked out because I was really far away from Mar. At 41 miles, cranked a little bit, still 30-something miles out. Now, 2/3 of my flight is cold, and I'm still hot, so I could kind of clean up if needed. And luckily for me, there's no missiles out on me, so it worked out, and we're back in that wall again. And I'm still looking out and seeing if anything's out there. The moment someone turns around, I lock him up and target on him.
Yeah, now at this point I saw at least two of your flight. I didn't realize maybe you were so hot. So I went in hot again.
Yeah.
And was calling that.
And the same thing happened with this. I saw him there because of Link 16, but I was unable to lock, and I was really close. So I was like, I'm just gonna head out because, as you could see, a missile was out at me.
What's the mod there?
Let's see, what is he? 1.4. Yeah, with the MAR, it takes into effect the actual turn. So I busted a little bit there. Was able to get away from that missile, luckily. And go over to here since we're cold on this second engagement, or where's Viper Hawk and Faith. Did you hear? Did I do it? Did I say targeted and out dry or something? I might have not said targeted because I couldn't even see them.
We heard you say. Go ahead, Vic. I'm sorry.
Oh, I believe you had targeted, but we never really. I was just watching like 16 on out. I don't remember any out calls.
Okay.
But there was a lot of targeted calls.
Yeah, that was a lot. Yeah, yeah. Glad I turned before I got too fixated. So what was the sort here? With the Faith and Viper, what was the sort? I guess you sorted the lead. Like you're both maybe targeted?
Yeah, well, I was sorting the lead. Yeah, at one point we were double locked on it.
Yeah, and then he went cold and there's no reason to
Yeah.
box anymore. 29 miles, 24 miles.
And then I think there was one time I just done a defensive shot. It was basically up pretty much cold at that point. There was not really anything.
Sorry, I gotta go.
Thanks
very
for
much.
coming.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Thanks.
Let's see. Hit on the eagle there. What is it? 30-mile shot.
How was the higher 30-some thousand working for the Vipers?
It wasn't too bad. As long as you were above at least 0.85, you could maneuver a bit.
Yeah.
Because if you're below that, it's really annoying to even be up there. But 30,000 worked out good. Relatively good. We were cold, and that called us back in for a wall. Brody's there, so we're all back in our. That was a knock it off.
Yeah, you're hard right there.
Yeah, I called wall back in, and then I noticed that people were flowing away and below 10,000, so I was like, knock it off. But yeah, tried to communicate who's locked onto who. Respect Mar. If you can't see them and you just notice you're getting really close, give it to someone else and have them fire, and then you turn off, so you won't get hit by a missile. Have to look at the tape and see why I couldn't see him. I'm pretty sure I was within the elevation. I was going up and down, and it was between there. I just couldn't see him.
Were you jamming?
I might have been jamming. I usually go back and forth between jamming.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, jamming does take
Yeah.
away.
It takes away. And when I locked onto him, I just TMS up and held it.
I don't think I ever jammed in this match.
I would usually jam when they lock me up. And then when I'm about to shoot, I usually try to turn it off.
Yeah, that's the motto. So, thank God.
When I locked him up, I just narrowed the beam.
Yeah, I spotlight as well. I did that. I did VSR. VSR. Couldn't get it that time. I'll check my tape and see what it was. Let's go to red side. What was your tactic on that first little bit there?
Viper in front, Eagle Trail, line abreast, 5 miles.
Yep.
And yeah, a little bit frantic as we try and target. And as soon as I basically formulate the words in my head to say we're targeted on lead group east, we're already 30 miles. And so I just told my two, shoot and crank out.
Yeah.
But at that point, we're already within Mars, so it's too late. But then Eagle continues for the first set.
Yeah, so that's the minimum targeting range. That's that's why you need to start early. Try to early as you can to start like sorting because we're spread out. I think you're the Vipers, so you can't really see anything on link 16. But when you do seamless up on link 16, you'll be able to see everybody on there. This is when the Eagles are supposed to kind of like give a somewhat picture to the Vipers down there, especially when they don't have any link 16. Was that
I
happening?
remember asking for it, but I don't remember hearing anything until we just got radar contact. And at that point, it was already 42 miles, maybe, when we got radar contact. It was really close.
Let's see. There's a radar contact there. It's 40 miles, yeah.
And so at that point, 40 miles, I was like trying to formulate the essay in my head, but
Yeah.
then closer rate because it's hot.
Yep. Going
And
by fast.
this is like 30 seconds, right? And in 30 seconds, where it busted more, I'm like, oh shit, shoot and crank out.
And
But yeah,
when you think about it, you could have just turned cold early, and just
instead
communicate
of shooting,
because you got the Eagles, like they're
yeah,
missile beasts, so they could do whatever they want. And you can just kind of be a decoy for the more or less, or right when you shoot, because this is the good thing about standards. If you see someone first, which person was lead? Was Lamp Sauce your lead?
I was lead and I was shorted left, but I was also stumbling over my words
Okay.
because I was trying to implement the new thing that we were talking about.
Yeah.
How if I call lead short left, that means I'm the owner. But if I
Mhm.
say like to target right, then that's he's the
He's the
owner.
owner. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, because my natural instinct is to say to target right, but
I
I've
see.
never like thought about owner
Yeah, you didn't
or
want to give him ownership.
there. Yeah, but then I
Yeah.
realized like, wait, I want ownership. So then I was stumbling over my words a little bit.
Yeah.
So that added to the
Yeah.
frazzleness.
It
But
happens
yeah.
because it's a new thing. I'm getting used to it. Everybody's getting used to it, but it is a thing that
The second set went a
really
lot
nice.
better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then again,
But
you got to learn. Not many people know about that, the owner and
mhm.
stuff. So you just have to depend on who you fly with. But did you saw both at some point? Because you said left and right, so you saw both of them at
Yeah,
some
we saw
point.
both. Yeah.
Did you know this guy was in front, like a leader?
No, we couldn't tell that
Okay,
much, I don't think. Yeah, it was too close to call.
that's fair.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out the azimuth split too. I think that's like another thing, but then I realized there's no way of telling like how far you guys are apart from each other.
Oh yeah,
Or if there is, like I would love to know it. But yeah. But you're right. I think the proper tactic would have been notice that we're way too close, just split us out of there, not even shoot, and just try and stay alive. But we just reacted too late, or I did, and then I got my wingman killed too. And yeah,
and then but you could see if you're locked onto them and you see them cranking and maneuvering and doing stuff like that, you could just have to assume that they launched at you. Um, let's see, they launch, and bait started cranking a little bit there, so you might be able to notice that. That's another sign you could kind of see if they shot or not. And if they shoot and you don't have the awareness to shoot or not in the position to shoot, just turn off.
yeah.
And for the Eagles, see, good dope is there. Feel what's going on in your head for this?
Yeah, we were established like line abreast, trail, 10 miles, and things go fast, and my brain cells freeze often. I need to check that.
It's just stress and all this stuff
Man,
going on. It's crazy. Everybody has. I have it.
yeah.
Me too, Phil. Me too.
I feel it in the feels.
So we try to tell our Fox call on the right radio channel and sort accordingly with what we talked before.
Mm-hmm.
And we before we when before engaging the two Vipers, we were like, hey, I'm South and who again, the Rudy, is it Rudy?
Yeah, Rhodey. Yeah.
Yeah. The two Vipers target the lead group, and the two Eagles who were targeting the trail group. That was the game plan.
Oh, were you
So
thinking about the depth and all that? Was that going through your head at that moment or no? Like the depth of them, like 30 miles between.
yeah, but I didn't. It was too deep, but I was like, yeah, if with the ego, if the F-16 engage the F-16, they will turn cold, and we will push, and then engage the lead group because they won't turn hot on us because they're defending missiles.
Mm-hmm.
So we were thinking about the next step about engaging the trailing group.
Yeah.
So that was our game plan, but
So I'm gonna get your brain going here. Do you know why that game plan didn't work with this formation? Do you understand what I'm asking?
yeah, I do understand a lot, but when it gets to put out words of my mouth in English, it gets complicated.
Yeah.
But I don't really know. I'm
Yeah,
I'm all
it's
in for
just
suggestion.
yeah, we're just it's just feedback. We're just like putting like real life examples to why everything we talked about today was important. So the reason why this didn't work is because the target depth between you is 10 miles, and you didn't expect for the two flights to sort each group. So lead got the lead group, and the trailer got the trail group. So you got missiles at all of you because of the 10-mile separation. That was unable to happen because we have 30 miles in between the two groups.
Oh,
I see.
yeah.
Yeah. So if you're on this side and you're like, well, we're really close, they could probably shoot at both of us. So someone needs to turn or do something or expect another missile to come out. That's just something you need to look on the opposite side of it to kind of understand how you look to them.
Right.
Shit.
Yes.
Yeah, great, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a super great point.
Everything just came together all at once. It's like, oh my god!
Boom!
It's just like a mind blown. It's like boom. Yeah, beep. Exactly. Perfect.
Yeah. Thank you for that, man.
Yes. So with the PvP earlier this month, we were trying to do the same thing with the separation and range, which is depth.
Yeah.
To kind of get that, so to disallow the other adversary to shoot at both groups at the same time.
Yeah, well, if I had been following Mustang in, I probably would have got too close, just so you know.
Oh, the opposite? Yeah.
Yeah, so I probably would have done the same thing if I hadn't been lead.
Yes.
So I'll have to remember not to do that next time.
I think that's most of this engagement.
But one thing I did remember was the fast and the slow beat of the missile.
Oh yeah.
When they both shoot the missile, I got the missile warning on my RWR, but I did resist to defend, and it
So
worked out.
fast is searching and slow is locked on?
Yes.
Or okay.
Yeah, but the biggest thing is the visual. When you look at it, it's like blinking really fast, but it's beeping slow. So
Okay.
yeah, it gets confusing, but yeah,
Yeah, I would prefer it beep fast and blink
blink
fast
fast.
also.
That does make more logical sense. So yeah, it's top of the hour on that. So I uploaded it. I don't want to take too much of your time. If you want to stay over, that's perfectly fine. I'll go over this engagement real quick. But if you have to go, feel free. And I do appreciate everybody coming today and getting all of this fire hose of information in a very short amount of time. All right, for the second engagement, wall again.
Yes.
What was that?
Oh, I was gonna say blue side first, and then I'll explain red side. Yeah.
Oh, blue what?
Oh, you go first, and then when it's red turn.
Okay.
I'll talk. Yeah.
Our separation 22 miles. Your separation 31 miles.
Sounds better.
Yeah, that's a little better on that. So we weren't able to do what we did the first time. So I had sorted. I had I think you had spiked. Yeah, you were spiked for a little bit, so we cranked left. We continued.
Trying to bait them.
Yeah, try to see if you follow him. So we continued left, right, sorted azimuth. I was able to fox, so I foxed at 33 miles, 0.97, 38,000 feet. So I did that. Cranked, so there's a missile.
Target fixation there.
Yeah, a little bit. And on here, I didn't support it all the way because you're already cold. I supported it to, I think, Husky, I believe. And then I supported it, and I saw you literally turning. So there's very little reason why for me to continue to support it if the other person's turned away. See, if this missile was at me, it would have been this one's at me. But if this one was at me, it'll be more dangerous for me. But it's at Starlight. But I turned away because I didn't want to support it anymore because one, it's Husky. Two, he's already cold.
Oh, so you like kind of the missile won't hit, so you don't support it. Don't give it more time. So,
Basically, yeah. There's no reason to. I
yeah.
can't do anything. It's not going to track better because he's going cold. It's still going to lose.
Yeah,
Not
okay,
going to be
I
able to
get
get
it.
there anymore.
Good point.
It looks like a bonsai to me.
Yeah, basically. Bonsai! So there's 2 shots at both. I'm out. Brody's out. I don't think they tracked us because we're already out. This one didn't track. Starlight bonsai'd. My missile didn't track, but you're cold, so win for me or us. And then, so we're cold. We at least go past the second group, at least. If you're two or more flights, at least go past the trailing group in your package.
Yeah, we turned in a little bit too soon there, but it worked out.
Yeah.
Worked out.
So now we're back in. How far are we? We're 16 miles on his end. I'm 25 miles on my end, so that works out okay. Starlight is in it to win it.
That's when I tell the good dope to I think it's like stagger back when one go right and the other go left.
Uh-huh.
I was looking at I didn't know, but I was looking at the red aircraft coming at us. I was like, yeah, let's turn each side and the one naked go in, and that was what I was thinking at this time.
Yeah, that's very good because if you're far enough, Starlight can't really target both of you effectively, because you're separated.
Yeah, and the second thing, so we just like kind of did the grinder with the F-16, so we turned back out when we are behind the F-16. I don't know.
Yeah, basically, not within, but between flights grinder. So once the first flight is cold, the second flight becomes hot, which is that's a tactic to use. Youngish lamb sauce. Were you aware of Starlight on this side?
No. I think after the eagle shot and went cold, I was trying to ask for targets, but we couldn't.
Yeah, they're cold. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
they're cold. They
Yep.
couldn't tell. We didn't know Starlight was there, but we did see the 2 ships, so we were able to short and shoot.
Yep, understandable. This is the downside of not having Link 16.
Yeah, we need those Block 42 aggressors.
I know. I wish we did. I'm trying to ask the BMS gods to put it in there.
Well, I mean, just recently, but they have them now, so why not?
They are there. So we went over that half. Let's go over a little bit on the red side after the knock it off.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a 10-mile trail, but it ended up being 30, 40 miles by accident, but it worked out.
Yep.
So now I know that's better. Yeah.
Yeah, game plan was like Lamso said, like 10 mile abreast, 5 degrees up, go gate, and when we sorted, I told the good dough target left and center, and we'll take the right one. Yeah. So when I saw the right one flanking, I thought it was interesting, but I was like, I can't let him go. He will become two big problems.
Yeah.
So we did our things. And when we established, I think if I remember correctly, Lamsal said, let's do something like a grinder, man.
Oh, between flights, yeah.
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 So that's when I do remember Lamsal's asking for like direction or targets.
I didn't even realize you shot 3 Fox 3s. I think one thing Red Side could have done better is being more on top of our Fox calls. Because a lot of time I had to ask, like, did you shoot? Did you shoot yet? I think I remember that.
Within your
And
flight?
within the package.
Oh, the package. Okay.
Yeah, it's a package load thing. I think within the flight was pretty good, but package-wise, there wasn't really clear communication between the two
Yeah, I
flights.
have a question on communication here in a minute.
Yeah, for me, there was a couple times where I think I called my Fox over the Victor radio, but not to the package.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That information probably got lost.
it's based
yeah,
on
same here.
if you're the only one that's hot, then it's probably a good idea to say Fox. But if you're in a wall and your flight is targeted on a certain group or area, then it would make sense for just the owner to say Fox, and it's assumed that the group is taken care of.
And that's the answer to my question. Thank you.
Yeah, so if you're the only person that's hot, then Fox calls are probably important for you to call over uniform.
I think.
I remember Prime, you told me to call it out on uniform. Goodness, I forgot the.
Yeah, there was a point in time where Rhodey was targeted on a group and the other flight was targeted on a group, and I was trying to get Rhodey to like communicate either to let them have it, which is to turn around to skip it, to turn around and just let them have it because they already said they're targeted, or
and I noticed
call them off. One of the two.
Yeah, I noticed that they were close to the target, so I just
If they're closest, give it to them. If you're closest, you have an option to call them off.
Exactly.
Depending on your situation awareness. If your situation awareness is low and they're farther, then you have the option. That's your out window to be able to get out and not get hit.
Exactly, and I just turned off.
Let's see, where was that?
I believe I called it on. I called it on uniform. You told me to call it on I called it on Victor. You told me to call it out on uniform. I totally forgot the other guy's call sign.
I think it was here. Yeah, it was about here. Your target on this guy, and Vaith is already targeted, so you're 5 miles. That's relatively the same position. So you have the option to skip it by just leaving. You don't have to communicate anything.
Somehow I missed that Rhodey was in front of me. Is why I still did that.
No, but I noticed who's on the right?
That was
Viperhawk?
me. And
Viperhawk's up there.
That's
Vaith's
why.
right there.
That's why. Yeah, that's why I decided to call it off.
So Viperhawk got the shot off first. 29-mile shot there. So it was already taken care of. I don't know if you were communicating back and forth to whose was sorted. I don't know if Viperhawk said it over uniform.
He did. I think it was just kind of like we communicated, but I didn't listen.
Okay.
So, but yeah, Viprop was communicating as targets, I believe.
I did, and I said I have this one locked up, and they said take the shot. So I took the shot and then turned.
Cool.
Yeah.
I evaded that one.
Yeah, it was definitely coming at you. I was like, you needed something.
Absolutely.
The 22 miles, yeah, you got pretty close there.
And I don't know why I took the shot in hindsight, because I already knew it was beaming at the time I took it.
I saw it coming in, and I called it out to you, Prime. It's coming right at me.
Yeah, I'm like, you need to do something. You can't just go straight. That's no decision. That's the worst decision.
Exactly, and that's why I just pulled straight up and just bleeded out.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we dissected this pretty good. Any other questions or things you want to go over?
One thing I noticed is seems like a 10-mile line abreast is pretty effective as compared to even just 5 miles, because 5 miles looks tight, and it feels like when we're outnumbered like this, that each flight member should take more responsibility. So maybe we should take a bigger line abreast. Would that help?
It would help because you're Eagles. Because if you were outside of our remember how I was talking about one Viper can take 2 contacts within 10 miles or something. So if you were outside, you would immediately put yourself to do 2 Vipers needing to shoot at you. But being that you're all
Yeah.
in one spot, technically one person can shoot at both of you at the same time. I think on the last couple ones, I think on blue, it worked out this way, but the Eagles ended up, one was in the west and the other one was in the east, and then the 3 Vipers were in the middle. So the more you spread out, the harder it is for one person to get 2 of you. And then again, depth wise works as well. At least you can have somebody going that way at some point. But
Yeah.
as we always say, it all depends on what happens, because there's a point in time where you can't support your wingman anymore. But with 15s, you can support your wingman by the capabilities of that jet. They can pretty much protect themselves. But with the Viper, I probably wouldn't have 2 Vipers on either side of a package to try to help them out. But Eagles, you could do that.
I guess I'm just wondering, in a BVR situation like this, how does a wingman support while being 5 mile line abreast, just like staying close with lead, or would
Well,
it be more beneficial to just have like 2 independent aircraft, basically like what Starlink did, and deploy out farther away to create more problems?
yeah, supporting in a BVR is just, let's see, what could that even be? Because supporting usually means like in a within visual range. So during World War II, you would be,
Yeah.
supporting by visual, but a BVR doesn't actually matter. But what you need to be able to do is to be within help's range. So if they were to get in trouble and you're 40 miles away, you're not going to be able to help them in a reasonable amount of time. So that's the only reason why you would be a little bit closer to be able to delouse them if needed, or to be support that way. But you're not supporting visually. You're basically supporting, like if azimuth right here would be good for supporting wise. But you're basically being in the range to be able to help your wingman, like in a BVR sense. So you're able to help them, but you're not close to them, but you can still help them at 30 miles or so. You can still help them pretty easily, because if they need help, they will just turn around and turn towards you.
Well, I guess that's what I'm asking right now, where this is two flight helping each other, right? But in
Yeah.
terms of wingman, could the wingman, like let's say the Eagles right now, one of them go 20 miles east right now instead of being here where we have it 30 miles azimuth? Would that be better? Is there anything against that?
Not really initially, because if you don't shoot anything and you just turn this way, he was able to do that because you're outnumbered. So he did that without
Yeah.
shooting. But if you're going to do that, I would shoot something first and then crank. So you're doing 2 things at once.
Okay.
You shot a missile and you're separating yourselves. You're doing 2 things at once. So they could either come hot still and there's a missile in the air and you're separating. I wouldn't, especially if you're outnumbered, just separate without doing anything first, shooting something.
Exactly. Just make that target go defensive.
It's like seed against the SA-10. Like you're
Yeah.
just throwing a harm. Yeah.
And for every, isn't it about so like 0.8 Mach is, it takes about that's about 8 miles in a minute. Is
Yeah.
that true?
Yep.
Oh, you can kind of estimate how long it would take you to reposition. So
Hey, good dope. We were using B models.
The 120.
Yeah.
Oh.
Forgot about that.
See, what was that is a B model.
It's the B model. It's default by B, so you gotta change it.
Yeah, you gotta change it.
Yeah.
You mean change it in the loadout
Oh.
screen in 2D, or?
But you can switch
We had
cycle.
live rounds.
You could
Oh, you
cycle
have
the
both.
yeah, you have both. You have a B and a C. So you could
Yeah, you should
hit
have
the
a B and C.
Missile step.
Oh, okay.
You were having only Bs, I think. Because it's infinite, so it won't change for you. So
Yeah, that's unfortunate, but you gotta. It's another thing. You gotta be cognizant of what weapon you have, because this could happen. You have however many Bs and however many Cs, and you accidentally do the Bs when you don't want to.
Yeah, I didn't know we had both.
Much better is the C, Charlie, compared to the Bravo.
Oh yeah.
But, yeah.
Quite a bit.
Because on the second set, it just seemed like we threw missiles and grinded and we were at a stalemate.
Yeah.
Well, we were slowly falling, and we're losing numbers. So maybe you guys were winning, but so I'm trying to think of like a way to not be stuck in that situation. But it seems like if we're just like 5 mile line abreast and a grinder, that's just like a numbers game. You guys have more jets, and we're just gonna slowly run out missiles unless we. I guess we could have done a better execution too. Better execution would always make things
Yeah.
better. But if tactics is there to help, then that would be great. But yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
fair, you're on
10
red.
miles separation.
yeah, red is it does. You already degraded your
Yeah.
capabilities.
So as a 15, you gotta be a pseudo AWACS for the 16, which is like the hardest work you can do, because trying to lead a flight and trying to AWACS them, it's gonna blow your brains.
Yeah, it's too
It
many
was,
tabs open.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did. It did.
But if you're able to handle that, you can handle the Link 16 with everybody has their own stuff. Like if you can handle something really hard, you can handle the easy stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I didn't mind not having Link, but definitely the communication wasn't there to not have Link.